let's talk now about Huobi, one of the largest crypto exchanges. At least last time I checked, it was the third largest behind, well, at one point it was FTX, and then Coinbase and Binance being now at the top slot. Anyway, Huobi has confirmed after some speculation that Justin Sun, the behind Tron, is indeed the head of the exchange. He's now the CEO, and this comes just a little while after About Capital Management, which was a Hong Kong-based investment company that it's suspected Sun was a major funder of, became a majority stakeholder in Huobi. But before this confirmation, a statement from Huobi, it wasn't confirmed that Sun was actually, in fact, in charge of the exchange. And as a part of being in charge of the exchange, he's taking aim at rat trading, which is a kind of insider trading thing that we'll talk about a little bit later. But yeah, this is just really interesting because beyond, giving more power, it seems, to Justin Sun, it comes after a bunch of denials from him straight up that he was, behind this takeover or leading Huobi in any way. So actually, let's toss to Adam. Maybe you can talk to us a little bit about this whole rat trading element that they're trying to go after with this takeover.
Yeah. Thanks for that, Sam. Yeah, if you're watching or listening out there and you've never heard of rat trading before, don't feel bad. None of us had actually heard of it before either. It does not appear to be a phenomenon that at least gets talked about in the U.S., and it is something that you see more commonly over in Asia. As was mentioned, it's kind of a form of insider trading, but it's a little more complex than that. Basically, imagine this. You have control over a large amount of money that isn't for the purpose of you getting rich. You take some of money that you do actually have, or you get a friend to take some money that they have, and you have them buy a stock, or you have them buy a token or something like that. You buy $1 million of it at $50 or something, right? Then you, by nature of your control over other funds that are not intended for your enrichment, but because you have discretion over what to do with them, decide independently that you're going to invest $100 million into that same investment right after you bought it on the side. That then pushes up the price to maybe double where it was before. You then tell your friend to sell, the $1 million worth of the token that they bought. Now it's worth $2 million because the price has doubled. And now your company can either sell or can keep it, and it kind of doesn't matter because, hey, you already just made $1 million off that trade. So the kind of accusation here, or at least the story that we're getting so far leaked out, has a lot to do with tokens from the Huobi ecosystem that have apparently had people trading them in ways that the exchange is now claiming generated an abnormal amount of profit, which strikes me as a little bit of a funny terminology, but we can leave that there. And so that's kind of the basics of it from what we can understand. It strikes me that it's kind of an actually odd thing and almost a non sequitur to kind of toss into this release announcing this thing. And that if anything, the idea that you're stopping it implies it was happening in the first place. And it's the happening in the first place part that really seems like that's the problem. So it's kind of just a weird angle to this story. But again, it's a Justin Sun story. And I really have yet to experience one of those that doesn't have kind of odd elements to it that don't really make a ton of sense. So Will, I'll toss it over to you for your thoughts.
Yeah, there's always some interesting and odd angle we're not expecting when Justin Sun comes into the picture, right? So it's very on brand for the king of Tron. When I actually looked up rat trading, the first headline I saw was from a Business Insider article from 2014, talking about actual rats trading Forex. So this is a little bit different. And according to the article here, we see that Huobi is worried about a bunch of accounts trading at abnormal times of the day, having lots of different profits, and now they're going to clamp down on those traders. So hopefully they're targeting the correct people that are actually misusing the platform and not someone who's just really good at timing the market, because that could be, of course, the case. Adam, to your point, this is a little weird because there wasn't a lot of recognition that Justin Sun had bought Huobi. There had been rumors and there had been articles about it. We basically knew that he had done that, but there wasn't anything essentially forthcoming. And now we have this story, and then stapled to it is some story about rat trading that everyone has to look up and understand what it means. And I'm wondering why they did that. Either way, I guess it doesn't matter too much. We now know Justin Sun is operating Huobi as we long suspected. And for him to step into that ecosystem is really interesting, right? Because Huobi's been very important in the past, but it has not been important lately because they've lost a lot of their trading volume to a lot of other firms, specifically Binance. And now going to bear market, we have this interesting time for them to reclaim some territory. Maybe they are able to gobble up some more traders. But Justin Sun's track record doesn't really work in his favor for exchanges, right? He also purchased Poloniex. That hasn't gone anywhere hot. A lot of times these exchanges, just like we talked about yesterday with FTX, after they've had their time in the sun, they settle down and then they disappear after a while. There's only a few exchanges that have managed to keep up the hype and stay strong, mostly Binance and Coinbase at this point. So we'll see what happens with it. I'm expecting more from Justin Sun, of course. He's always on the show for some reason or other. Sam, over to you.
Yeah, couple quick points. So why did they staple this, rat trading thing onto it? To me, it's just clearly a PR move. Justin Sun, we talk broadly about Justin Sun, but just Google him. There's some really great CoinDesk reporting, but also like The Verge did some great reporting on him. He is by no means an uncontroversial figure. He's been accused of stuff that maybe it's not quote unquote rat trading, but very similar looking maneuvers. So the way that I see this is if he is going to become the leader of this exchange and even larger a force in this ecosystem, he needs to seem like if he's going to be the dictator, he's got to be benevolent. And this is his PR pitch to that point. Adam, let's go to you.
Yeah, just real quick. I can't not bring up the fact that every single time we talk about Justin Sun, it's because he's either threatening to spend money, claiming he spent money, actually spent money, or something like that. And you got to remember that Justin Sun didn't start off this journey as a billionaire. He got that because Tron did, as far as I can tell, that's where he made his money from the initial sale of that. And so again, it's just this weird thing where like, does anybody actually know if Justin Sun is actually competent? Does anybody actually know if he's actually accomplished anything that we would consider to be productive or helpful? I really don't know. Anyways, we don't have time to discuss it today.